DB and Associates, home to some of the top multimedia talent in America. And now, here's your host of the DB&A magazine show, Kelly Watson.
Hello, I'm Kelly Watson, and welcome to the DB&A magazine show. Today we are at Longwood Gardens in Kennett Square, Pennsylvania, and we will tell you more about this amazing place later in the show. But first, Kimberly Kravitz takes us back to the red carpet, this time for the New Jersey Hall of Fame inductions.
We're back. It's the 11th annual New Jersey Hall of Fame, celebrated here at the Paramount Theater in Asbury Park. There's bright lights and big stars. It's a packed house. And yes, the tickets are all sold out. Oh, what a night it was in Asbury Park. A celebration of the arts, public service, sports, enterprise, and even the moon landing.
It's always so exciting to see all this greatness come together. You've got George Martin, Game of Thrones. You've got Jason Alexander, one of the most famous sitcom actors of all time. We have Buzz Aldrin's going to be on the stage tonight, so we got an astronaut, one of the first guys to land on the moon.
This year, celebrities filled the red carpet, gushing with Jersey pride.
It's crazy. All I did was grow up in Jersey. I mean, I just grew up in Jersey. If I grew up in Indiana, I wouldn't be here tonight.
Which exit?
I think I was exit 5 off the 280.
What it does is it reinforces what we know, which is that this is a fabulous place to live.
It's your first time here, right?
Yeah,
I've never seen you here before.
Yeah, this is my first event, and hopefully many more, because this stuff is truly awesome to be around, and I get to meet all these guys. I just feel like a kid in a candy store right now.
Music filled the night, starting with Rock and Roll Hall of Famer Darlene Love and John Bon Jovi presenting for Southside Johnny. These New Jersey natives were clearly proud to come back to Asbury Park for a night celebrating the greats of the Garden State.
It's always beautiful in Asbury Park. I am presenting to Martha Stewart. Now, she has no idea there's a celebrity roast that I have in mind.
It's like Music Central, right?
I love it. I've been performing here for 30-something years. It's a lifetime experience. I've played all over Jersey.
I think it's coming back. I feel like it's coming back, and I'm very happy to see that.
Another inductee, Game of Thrones author and co-executive producer George R.R. Martin, walked on stage to the show's iconic theme song. So how does it feel to have the show that everybody talks about?
Well,
Really, though?
sometimes it's a little overwhelming.
This year was especially memorable because it included the Hall of Fame's youngest and oldest inductees to date. I'm like, okay, who's next? Like, it's about the youth, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think we have the youngest and the oldest here tonight, which is so cool. I mean, I can't even believe I'm here. I'm speechless. So
When I was going through the program, I noticed there were so many young people.
Yeah.
So now we're seeing a shift in the people that are inducted.
That's right, and I think we're going to keep seeing more and more be inspired by that, and from there, we're going to see even more names from Jersey coming up here.
Like Governor Murphy tells me, it comes down to 2 words.
You know, when we talk about New Jersey and why should people move there, why should businesses locate there, 2 words, it comes down to talent, and we're celebrating that tonight, and location.
Tonight, the 19 new inductees of the New Jersey Hall of Fame will be celebrated by the state. And the time to think about next year's inductees begins now. The New Jersey Hall of Fame committee will begin reviewing next year's list come next month. Reporting from Asbury Park, I'm Kimberly Kravitz for Jersey Matters.
Asbury Park looks like a fun and exciting place to hang out. As a matter of fact, let's stay at the Jersey Shore, where Phil Andrews takes us to a real boardwalk treasure.
To the center of the pinball universe, or should I say, the New Jersey universe. Located just yards from the Atlantic Ocean and nestled along the Asbury Park Boardwalk, the Silver Ball Museum and Arcade is the brainchild of owner Rob Ilvento, who opened the museum's doors over a decade ago.
A little over 11 years.
Okay.
Yep. We're starting to become, the pony is an icon of the area, and we're starting to become that. We're very popular. If people drive 3 states away to buy our all day and stay all day. We have VIPs that stick with us through everything, and they have a monthly membership.
There are 200 electromechanical and digital pinball machines, classics 80s video games, skee ball, air hockey, and much more. Basically, a slice of heaven, if you will, for arcade junkies.
Well, you won't find a place that has more machines in New Jersey. And not only that, they're all impeccably maintained. So you come, it's a magnet to come out and play these well-maintained, great games.
There's just something fascinating about the silver, the skill that's involved in doing it, just the light. Everybody loves lights and sound. So, I mean, it's still, like a children's toy where you bling, 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 and you just want to be by that.
Now, you would think that with Asbury Park's famed Stone Pony Entertainment venue less than a block away, you might see a celebrity or two walking through the museum doors.
We've had Danny DeVito film in here. We've had Anthony Bourdain, who rest his soul. We've had Ivanka Trump. We get almost all the musicians that come in, writers, celebrities. They're all on the wall over there.
What makes this particular pinball arcade museum Jersey?
Asbury is a marriage of old and new, modern and retro. And we are perfectly slotted for retro. We have a lot of artifacts from the old Palace amusement parks, and we still hold on to that old school feel of what Asbury was while being surrounded by the new.
What makes this particular treasure on the Jersey Shore a Jersey treasure?
Well, it's an unbelievable value, first of all. I mean, even back in the 80s and 90s, you could go through $10 worth of quarters like that, and you play all day on a $20 pass. I mean, it's crazy. There's no tokens, there's no tickets. Everything's on free play. You can just get lost in it.
Now, as you heard that pinball fan say, you can come here, pay one flat fee, and play all day long. Of course, if you do that, well, you're probably going to get a bit hungry. So it's a good thing the museum has a snack bar where you can also get a good old Jersey hot dog.
Oh man, that's like 3 tilts in a row. What is going on? I used to be a pinball wizard. Not. Anyway, we hope you've enjoyed your trip here to one of the Jersey Shore's true treasures. And if you've never played pinball before, which I find very hard to believe in this day and age, this is certainly not a bad place to get your pinball on. With that said, we're Jersey Matters in Asbury Park. I'm Phil Andrews. So let me see if I can get this thing working here.
By the way, I know Phil, and he is definitely not a pinball wizard. Okay, time to switch coasts as we head west to California, where Pat Pattison has the story of one of the biggest frauds in automobile history.
This is the Peterson Automotive Museum, one of my favorites in LA. It has one of the greatest collections in the world that celebrates everything automotive, but I've always wanted to explore the vault. It's a separate special tour, and I strongly recommend you take it. It was buried there that I thought I might find something, a little bit different, maybe a little bit scandalous. And sure enough, historian Leslie Kendall showed us a mysterious car from the 70s that had it all. I'm California native Pat Pattison, and even though I've lived here all my life, I keep uncovering new secrets, myths, legends, scandals, and mysteries of the Golden State. Stick with us as we go uncovering California. Here in the vault were some incredible finds, like the Shah of Iran's Bugatti, Grease Lightning from the movie Grease, Steve McQueen's Jaguar, Ed Big Daddy Roth's Outlaw, and even one of Elton John's outlandish rides. And in the midst of all this fame, right here in plain sight, the Dale. Now imagine a futuristic, lightweight, 3-wheel car boasting 70 miles to a gallon. The 70s sexy equivalent of the Tesla, and it was going to sell for $2,000. The Dale was the brainchild of Southern California design engineer Dale Clift. But like a lot of inventors, Clift needed somebody with business savvy to bring his vision to market. That someone was 37-year-old Liz Carmichael. At over 6 feet, the charismatic, self-promoting Liz vowed to bring the gas-guzzling, male-dominated Detroit Giants to their knees. Her timing was perfect to do just that. It was the middle of the gas crisis of the early 70s. The press, investors, and potential customers were fascinated with Liz Carmichael and the Dale. Interested dealers and customers with pre-orders threw money Liz's way. She quickly raised the equivalent of $16 million in today's money. It was even shown on the Price is Right TV game show. A new car! Well, maybe the price was right, but something was terribly wrong. No one had really looked under the hood of this car, because when they did, they found a weird putt-putt engine, and the wheels were nailed onto 4x4s. The Dale was a total fraud. And once Liz's little scheme was exposed by the Los Angeles District Attorney's Office, she packed up and fled with the millions. But it turned out the Dale wasn't the only thing that had a secret under the hood, because Liz Carmichael was actually a man. Jerry Dean Michael, to be exact, a fugitive wanted on alleged counterfeiting charges. And now, presto, Jerry was gone. Well, eventually Jerry got arrested in Dale, Texas, of all places. He was still living as a woman. Jerry passed away in 2004. But what a legacy. Join us next time for more myths, legends, scandals, and mysteries of the Golden State on Uncovering California. Like us on Facebook, and in the meantime, we'll keep digging.
Now that is fascinating. Did not see that coming. Okay, time to take our first break here on the DB&A magazine show. And as we do, here is a little something to think about. Before David Brunner was the owner and CEO of DB & Associates, he was A, a TV and radio news reporter, B, a TV and radio news director, C, a manager of professional athletes, or D, all of the above. We will have the answer at the end of the show. Welcome back to the DB&A magazine show. As we told you earlier, we are at beautiful Longwood Gardens in Kennett Square, Pennsylvania, voted best botanical garden in America. So, what exactly is a botanical garden, you ask? Well, a botanical garden is a garden dedicated to the collection, cultivation, preservation, and display of a wide variety of plants identified by their botanical names. And one of those places is right here in southeastern Pennsylvania.
So Longwood Gardens is located in Chester County, Pennsylvania. That's about 45 minutes west of Philadelphia in the town of Kennett Square. And we were founded in 1906 by Pierre Samuel DuPont, who purchased the original 202 acres because he heard about an arboretum that was going to be cut for lumber. And he decided to step in, buy the arboretum, and save the trees.
And plant and tree lovers everywhere are glad that Mr. DuPont did just that. He built it, and they came.
So we have over 1.6 million guests come to the gardens each year. A lot of those guests, probably 40% of them, come from within a 3-hour drive time, but we do have guests come from farther away and internationally as well. So it really is, when you come to Philadelphia, your trip's not complete unless you come to Longwood.
But like every other business and entertainment venue in America, Longwood Gardens has had to adjust to the worldwide pandemic.
So we want to keep our guests safe, and the pandemic has certainly changed our way that guests visit here at Longwood. We have limited our capacities to 35% of our normal guests. We've instituted one-way pathways, contactless entry, and required all guests to buy their tickets ahead of time so that we can control capacity. We reopened the gardens in July, and our guests have really enjoyed the opportunity to be outside where they can socially distance. We have 400 acres for guests to explore, and it's really been a wonderful experience for guests to come back, to reconnect, and to reconnect with nature during this time.
Today, the gardens encompass 1,100 acres, featuring 20 indoor gardens, 20 outdoor gardens, meadows, and woodlands, showcasing more than 11,000 types of plants. In addition, Longwood is home to the most significant fountain collection in North America, featuring 3 fountain gardens and countless individual fountains throughout the gardens.
We have a number of seasonal displays throughout the year, but I think our most popular is probably a Longwood Christmas, which is our holiday display. It runs from mid-November through mid-January, and we deck the halls like no place else. Inside our conservatory, there's huge, elegantly decorated trees and wonderful horticulture throughout. And outside, we have over 500,000 lights decorating over 100 trees. So we get about 450,000 guests during that period. And it really is a delight for young and old, because who doesn't love holiday lights? So along with Christmas is really one of our most popular seasons.
Now, you could literally spend the entire day here at Longwood Gardens, which means you would probably have to get an early start. And so, Janet Zappala has a little something to get your day started.
Breakfast really is the most important meal of the day. Don't let anybody kid you. Hi, I'm Janet Zappala, and welcome to Wealth of Health. Breakfast really is so important because it gets you going first thing in the morning. You've been fasting for about 8 hours the night before, so your body needs nutrients to get you really feeling sharp and energized so you can do the things you want to do throughout the day. There are also studies that show kids who have a good breakfast do better in school. They study better, their attention span is longer, they're in a better mood, and this is really good for the rest of us, that you can control your weight better if you have breakfast because you're not so prone to grab really unhealthy snacks through the day to satisfy your hunger pangs because you didn't have a good breakfast. One of my favorites is a smoothie because it's quick, it's easy, and there are so many good nutrients that you can throw into one. One of my favorites too is a berry smoothie, basically because it's, very, very good for you. You knew I was going to say that. I've got bananas, some raspberries, and pineapple. You can do fresh or frozen. I've got frozen here. The great thing about using frozen fruits is it makes it really frothy and cold so you don't have to use ice cubes. Then I've got some almond milk, which is a wonderful source of vitamin D for our bones and calcium, and some kefir, which is essentially liquid yogurt. This is pomegranate, which has so many great antioxidants. You can also use yogurt, non-fat or low-fat, whatever you prefer. Then some wheat germ, toasted, which I love. It's got a crunch to it, chock full of folic acid and vitamin E. Some, and this is so important for you, ground flaxseed. Really a wonderful source of dietary fiber and all-important omega-3 fatty acids. Finally, I'm using some whey protein. You can use soy or whey or whatever you like. Just get some protein in there. Whey protein I love because obviously it's a great source of protein. Soy protein is good too. I don't like to use soy all the time, but I like to mix it up. So once in a while soy, once in a while whey. There's vegetable protein powders. There really is a nice assortment. So just check your local health food store and pick out what you like. Again, mix it up so you get a variety of nutrients over a period of time. Now, I mentioned that I have banana here, which is a source of high sugar fruit. So if you're really watching your sugar intake, you may not want to use as much banana, but again, it is a great source of potassium and dietary fiber. Just keep in mind there are higher sugar fruits like banana, grapes, things like cherries as well, and there are lower sugar fruits like berries and citrus fruits, even things like plums and melons and kiwi fruit. So those are things you need to know. All of them are really good for you, high in antioxidants, but again, watch your sugar intake. I've got those frozen raspberries and pineapple. I just happen to have some extra pineapple laying around, so I'm throwing it in. That's what's great about smoothies is you can throw practically anything that you love in, and it's going to be good for you as long as it's fruit and as long as it's a good source of protein and calcium. As I mentioned, the almond milk going right in here. The pomegranate kefir, low fat, and my omega-3 fatty acids in the form of ground flaxseed. And here we go. This is my blast in a glass. After about 20 to 25 seconds, it's done. And all you have to do is just pour. Somebody's not going to get as much. And since I'm sharing this today with my cameraman, Perry, here you go, Perry. No, this is for you. Cheers. Remember, take care of yourself and your body. It's the only place you have to live. I'm Janet Zapala. See you on the next Wealth of Health.
Nothing like a yummy smoothie to get you going. Hey, have you ever thought about inventing something? Well, maybe Brian Freed, the Got Invention Guy, can help.
Hi, I'm the inventor coach, Brian Freed. Do you have a great idea for an invention? Or maybe you've come up with an idea at some point? Well, we have inventors that have sent in their prototypes and finished products to see if they can become the next millionaire inventor. So let's take a look what they sent in. I have Lucy from Wisconsin. She came up with this invention called pull ties. Well, what the heck is this? So what she did was she opened up her pantry and she saw that her cereal bags were left open and bread bags were left open and other types of bags in her kitchen were left open. So she came up with this product called pull ties and she told me how to use it. Basically, you take any of these bags and you put it through the loop of this pull tie. You push it down and then there's a button on this track and you push it and it seals it tight. And there's pull ties. And right now she's selling these in major retail stores. Congratulations, Lucy. Is this going to be the next millionaire invention? Well, here's another one. This is Tom from Idaho. He came home one night with leftovers and there was no room left in his fridge. And then he looked at his egg carton and there was all that space in that area for the eggs. And then he opened it up and saw that there was only 2 eggs left. So he got a little frustrated, took the egg carton out and said, you know what? I'm going to come up with this product called Extra Space. So it's a collapsible egg tray. You put your eggs in. So this is on the shelf. You put your eggs in. And as you take the eggs out, you close it up. And then it keeps open for the amount of eggs that you have left. He called it Extra Space, a collapsible egg tray. Not bad. For those of you who have invention ideas, go ahead and send them in, get in touch with me, and we'll put you on our show, and let's see if you can get discovered to become the next millionaire inventor.
Now those are just ingenious. Okay, time to take another break, but we'll be back with more of the DB&A Magazine show after this.
I thank God for my life, and for the stars and stripes, may freedom forever fly. Let it ring, salute the ones who died, the ones that give their lives, so we don't have to sacrifice all the things we love.
Thank you, and welcome home.
Like our chicken fries.
Welcome back to the DB&A Magazine show. I'm Kelly Watson. You know, former college athletes make some of the best employees, role models, and leaders. Their contribution to society as a whole is invaluable. Andrew Martin introduces us to one of those former athletes.
From 2012 through 2015, Martez Waller rushed for 3,108 yards. He's fourth all-time on Fresno State's career list.
The best part about being a Bulldog was basically just representing the Valley, representing the Valley and putting on that jersey and giving them all for all the people around, because I know they want to see Fresno State do good, so we tried our best.
For Martez Waller, his best was in 2014. He rushed for more than 1,300 yards, the last Bulldog running back to have a 1,000-yard season, believe it or not. It's been more than 3 years since Waller last played at Fresno State, but he's still connected to the program. He attends almost every game, and he's been known to wear his Bulldog pride at his new job as a Fresno County correctional officer.
Right after playing football, I was looking into something in the law enforcement field, and actually I saw this like on the Fresno County page. I was like, oh, I need to maybe give this a try. So look, here I am now.
Martez Waller was sworn in as a correctional officer in October. He said it was actually an ex-Fresno State football player who told him about the job, Chris Lewis, whose brother, Donovan, was Waller's roommate at Fresno State.
What's the feeling like of knowing that you are making our community safer?
It feels great. I love to help people. I love to see people doing the right thing. When I talk to the inmates, I give them, words of courage to do better when they get out.
Yes, he does. He's fitting right in. He's taken to it like a fish to water. He is a team player. He is committed. We see that day in, day out. He's out here working with his fellow officers, helping them. We love to get people that have been in sports, athletes. They're in shape. They know how to break down a problem. We find that they work good with others, and they are natural leaders too.
Martez Waller is based in downtown Fresno at the county jail. He's a floor officer and works 4 12-hour shifts per week. He says it's not intimidating to work with inmates, and he's fine with carrying a gun.
Well, I'm pretty used to firing guns because where I'm from, I hunt a lot, fish and all that good stuff, so I grew up with it, so it's easy. It's easy to me. It's come easy.
Waller is from Eatonton, Georgia, a small town about 75 miles east of Atlanta and about 2,400 miles from Fresno, California. He could have returned home after his playing career ended, but he likes it here.
Fresno is a big city to me, and I'm from the South, which is pretty much smaller and just a lot of trees. So I just wanted to come, stay in California. And another thing, it's better opportunities out here, so.
Not just for himself, but also for his 2 sons. And it makes it easier to follow the Bulldogs.
Oh, believe me, I'm proud of them. I'm glad they beat Boise because me and Boise don't get along.
And finally, we check in with Damian Musiani, who offers some interesting hindsight on 2021.
This is Hindsight 2021. I'm Damian Musiani, and welcome to the evergreen edition of our program where we share news and topics that are not time sensitive. You'll see an evergreen hindsight here and there after a slow news week, or if, there happens to be a Super Bowl the day before. Leading off at the top is the bottom of the world. Did you know that Antarctica has its own lost and found system? Paul Grisham misplaced his wallet there in 1968 while serving at a Navy weather station, and he finally got it returned to him 53 years later. Paul is 91 now and must be so relieved to get back his driver's license that expired during the LBJ administration and his beer ration punch card. Reportedly, the wallet was found behind a locker that was moved in 2014. They never do spring cleaning in Antarctica because, there's no spring. So this wallet just sat there chilling for half a century while all around it, a whole tourist industry was born, Metallica came to town, and I think Kurt Russell nearly burned the place down in the early 80s. I'm not exactly sure. It's comforting to know that at least you could never lose your brain in Antarctica, because if you chose to live or work there, it means you never brought it with you in the first place. And if 40 below temperatures doesn't make your blood run cold, imagine being a Texas resident and waking up to this. You're looking at an actual Amber Alert that was sent out 3 times in the Lone Star State, claiming that Chucky, the homicidal doll from the Child's Play movies, abducted his doll son Glenn and I guess went out on the road doing ventriloquist shows together or something. There's a lot to unpack here. So does that mean Glenn is the son of Tiffany Valentine from the Bride of Chucky sequel? If so, I'd abduct him too. She's got to be the worst mother in the world. Isn't she out in Vegas playing poker all the time? The Texas Department of Public Safety apologized and said that the Chucky alert was a malfunction of a system test. Moments later, though, the department then released a silver alert for the elderly Muppets Statler and Waldorf, who allegedly tumbled from their balcony and were last seen stumbling down Sesame Street. And if all this isn't enough to convince you of the coming apocalypse, word from the Caribbean is that Jamaica has run out of weed. Seriously. Marijuana harvesters outside Kingston say that heavy rains followed by drought has devastated the country's ganja farms. In 2015, Jamaica legalized pot in very small quantities, but the government there continues to destroy illegal farms, driving up costs even further. For the first time, American college students will now have to smuggle grass into a foreign country. That's akin to sneaking a barrel of oil into Saudi Arabia or electing a jerk into Congress. And that's your news. Please like and subscribe to us on social media, and I'll see you next week.
You can expect to see more of Damien's musings on future DB&A magazine shows. All right, time now to reveal the answer to our Something to Think About question. The question was, before David Brunner was the owner and CEO of DB & Associates, he was A, a TV and radio reporter, B, a TV and radio news director, C, a manager of professional athletes, or D, all of the above. The answer was somewhat of a trick question. David Brunner, or DB as everyone calls him, was all three during his career, and I guess now he can add president and CEO of his own television network. To find out more about today's great storytellers and other talented DB&A clients, check out our website at dbandassociates.com. Thanks for joining us on the DB&A Magazine Show. I'm Kelly Watson. See you next time.